right, fire away.
Hey Terry, we've talked a lot about Koby ever since you took over. We're getting to talk to him for the first time tonight. How have you seen him continue to grow since you've kind of increased his work?
Yeah, his confidence is building. It seems like he gets 1 or 2 catches per game. We haven't been able to get like a 3 or 4 catch game yet. Hopefully that comes Saturday, but he's getting better and better. He's running good routes. He's a competitor. I'm glad we got him involved and got him active. He's helped us get better.
Terry, have you thought about that this could be your last game as Penn State's interim head coach? Even if you guys win, go to a bowl and all that, like this could be it. Have you thought about that part of this?
No, I'm just ready to beat Rutgers. That's the only focus that I have right now. We're trying to get to a bowl game, and that's what my focus has been on.
Terry, we saw Chaz out here today for a little bit. How's he been progressing, and how are you seeing him kind of fitting in this weekend?
Yeah, he's going to be a game-time decision. He practiced today, so we'll see how he recovers from that, and then we'll see how it goes tomorrow, and we'll take him all the way up to game time and see what happens.
Terry, Thanksgiving 1991. Do you remember where you were?
No.
Where you were, you had 6 catches for 114 yards. Do you remember that game?
That was the Pitt game?
Yeah.
Oh, at Pitt Stadium. Oh, yeah, I did do that.
What are your memories?
Yeah, I remember that now. Playing against Sean Gilbert and them guys, yeah. Yeah, that was a good game.
Did you ever share your career with these guys, your playing career?
I think maybe 2 years ago, they showed a highlight video. Sometimes, guys get to chopping at it, like, Coach, you're old, you couldn't do anything, and you have to make a video appear so you at least can defend yourself. And like Koby, I was like, man, I was like you, I was a shorter guy, overachieved a little bit, but we don't, it's not about us, it's about them. So who cares what I did in the past? It's all about how can we teach them to get better, and that's where we keep our focus.
Terry, some of the major conference teams that had coaching changes weren't really impacted by decommits, but you guys were. Were things handled differently, or can you put your finger on what maybe the difference might be?
No, I don't really know why that is. We continued to recruit all those guys. It's just challenging for any team with an interim head coach because the recruits want to know what's next.
Yeah.
And, as you get closer to signing day, they get a little bit antsy and nervous, and they just want to know where their home is. So I don't have a real answer for that.
What's it like for you with the recruiting end of it now when everything seems to be up in the air at this point?
Yeah, continue to maintain communication, talk to these guys, get on the phone with them, FaceTime them. We sent some guys out on the road this past week to see some guys. We're just continuing to keep that communication, and, if a decision is made, we'll be ready to move forward rather quickly.
I know it probably doesn't feel like it for the entirety of the time you've been standing up there, but this week, given it's the last game, you're kind of rolling with a lot of confidence. Is there a freedom, maybe a sense of, not ease, because that's not what football is, but like a sense of confidence and less pressure this week to go out and just play?
Well, pressure is for the unprepared. We're going to be prepared, but the intent and the intensity that we're going to approach the game is the same as any game. This is a Big Ten matchup. No Big Ten matchup is ever easy, so we're going to go in there and be ready to battle. They have a lot to play for like us. We're both trying to get to the bowl game. It's a lot at stake for each of these teams.
Terry, with Koby, how did you see him keep his confidence up when he's not getting on the field? I guess by all accounts he still was doing good things behind the scenes, but not being able to do that on Saturdays.
Yeah, you got to feed life into these guys. You got to continue to keep their attitudes high. You got to continue to support them and continue to feed their egos, so to speak. And that's my job. And we have talks almost every day on the field. Sometimes we Jones each other, which means we're talking smack to each other. But we just, my job is to make sure these guys have life and that they have confidence so that when they get to the field, they're making the plays they're supposed to make. And he's done that the last few weeks.
Is it more difficult now for freshman receivers to play than in your era? Because you were around a lot who were really good as true freshmen.
No, it's just the individual talent. You know, each guy is different. You know, some guys can grasp the information, the play calls, the checks, the adjustments. Some guys take a little longer. It's just each individual. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just individual success.
Terry, I know we asked you this earlier this week, but have you had a chance to meet Pat? And if so, how did that go?
Now, the focus that I've had this week is we have to beat Rutgers. You know, again, we want to end on a high note. We want to win our third game in a row. We want to go to a bowl game, and we're laser focused on that.
Terry, we're going to talk to Zariah. We're supposed to talk to Zariah after this. How have you seen him? He's a Western PA guy, dealt with some injuries here, has had success this year. What has just kind of been your perspective on his career trajectory up to this point?
He has a storybook telling, you know, 2 ACLs, you know, mom passed while he's here on campus. The truest of adversity. And yet here he is playing exceptional football for us, overachieving, fighting all the odds, and I'm super proud of him. You know, a kid that had that much adversity could easily quit and walk away from the sport. He's got his degree. I'm probably more proud about that than even the football. I promised his mom that he would get that, and you know, he's just been a great kid. He's reaping the reward of hard work.
Terry, on Monday you called rap Terry Smith tough. Could you maybe describe what that means in your eyes? Not just as it pertains to rap, but what Terry Smith tough would be.
We fight to the death.
With all the changeover that you've had, Kenny, the job that he's done, can you just address what he's meant to the program through several different stints and then now especially?
Kenny Sanders?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Kenny's invaluable. That guy is in our personnel department. He's doing a terrific job holding this thing together. You know, he's one of the guys that went out on the road doing some recruiting for us while the coaches are here trying to get victories. He's a gem, and you know, regardless who the next head coach is, he's the guy you want around this program.
People around the Rutgers program are talking a little bit about how they assume Greg Schiano started taking over some of the play calling of defense. If that's true, in your opinion, of watching the film, what are some of the differences, or what are some of the things he brings to the table as, you know, a long-time defensive mind and a guy who, you know, has been there as the kind of identity of Rutgers defense for a while?
Yeah, Schiano was a coach here when I played. He was a GA, then he moved into full-time. He's a defensive genius. He's very, very sharp. He's very aggressive in the special teams. Since he's taken over, they're playing a little less man coverage. They're zoning things up, trying to just keep everything underneath them. They're a little more fundamentally sound. So we expect them to play us tougher and tighter. He's just eliminated a lot of the mistakes, and the explosive plays. So, you know, they're just trying to keep the ball in front of them and not make mistakes to lose the game.
Two more guys.
Terry, when you talk about the Terry Smith tough aspect, is that innate in guys? Can you coach that out of them? Can you bring that out of them, or is it they have it or they don't?
No, you got to have something in your soul, and we have to teach you how to bring it out. You know, toughness is a part of, it's like building calluses on your hand to be, you know, when you first start working with your hands, they hurt and they bother you. But when you're working with your hands for years, it doesn't affect you at all. And that's how toughness grows. right? We have to teach them and put them in tough situations so that they can physically be tough and mentally be tough as well.
Who were the people who instilled that in you?
My family, my dad, my brother. I grew up playing. My brother's 5 years older than me. He played at West Virginia, but I always played street football with him. And they told me there's no excuses. You gotta excel. And I'm this little runt that's running around with these big guys. I grew up with like 6 guys that went Division I on my street, and they were all older than me. So I had to compete with those guys. You get knocked down. I was little, like when I came here, I was 130 something pounds. My dad said, you can never lay down on the ground because you'll never get a shot again. That was my mentality, get up and go.
What is street football? Explain it, please.
You guys don't know street football? Like playing on the concrete, like, you know, play tackle in the street, like where the cars are driven. You know, you get knocked down, you get back up and got scrapes and maybe your bone is sticking out or something. It's a lot of kids don't do that anymore.
I thought you could explain it better than I could. Thank you.
Thanks, Derek.
Thanks, Derek.